You have the other email you told me.
Yeah. I will find it. In just a moment. Because I want to pull up the reviews, which are incredibly hard to get to on iTunes. And almost useless. Oh wait, here it is. Right on the front. They moved the new one to the front now. That's cool. My God, the last one we got was like fucking nearly a year ago. Okay, got it. It's ready. Okay, and then I'll pull up that email and I'll let you guys talk and we'll pull up the email. Okay. By the way, Zill, your shirt looks like chainmail.
Yeah, it's doing this weird like predator thing right now.
Yeah.
It's like active camo. I don't really understand it, but I'm okay with it.
Looks cool, bud.
Hides my curves.
it hides your thunder. That's what
It does. It does
Okay.
indeed.
All right, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous podcast. Whatever the episode is, it's a lot of podcasts. Anybody have any idea what it is?
34?
34? 134? All right, 134. Hey, with me this week is Killzil. What's up, Zill?
Hey friends, how are you?
Doing good, buddy. I like that
All
active
right.
camouflage chainmail you got going on there. Looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
South specifically. Got it at Target actually.
Oh, at Target. Well, then it must be a quality shirt. That's a stylish place. So, also joining us on the podcast this week is apparently everybody's favorite podcaster and human meme, Astros.
Human being?
Human meme.
It.
Oh.
We made it, boys.
Okay, so.
Is that a step up or
I am
lateral?
not sure what the... I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. We'll get into this right after I read our first podcast review in 8 months.
Oh, goody.
I haven't read it yet, so I hope it's not like, why is Papa Smurf's an ass face?
I hope that's exactly what it is.
I'm an ass face. He got me. Okay, here we go.
That's possible.
All right. Actually, I can't read the entire title.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, that's
because it says you're an ass face?
No, the title says better ingredients, better, and then it just goes ... So I can't see what better ingredients. I'm sure it's better ingredients, better podcasters.
Better podcasts.
Papa John's. So,
Papa Smurfs.
Oh, that's good. That would be good.
We figured the joke out.
I bet that's what it is. Okay.
Because we're clever.
From Mr. Abstruse. Mr. Abstruse writes, the LOLA podcast is an entertaining and informative League of Legends podcast with a truly stellar community. After moving halfway across the country to a place where I had no roots, the LOLA community gave me some people to game with while my wife and I worked on making friends in our city. While the podcasters themselves are excellent and make me stifle laughter at work more frequently than I care to admit, the community that they have made is what makes this podcast shine. Dragon was the first to step out and invite me to help him make a spreadsheet tracking community game stats, a phrase that shows both how nerdy and awesome these people are. Thanks, Lola. You're welcome, Abstruse, and I'm glad you joined our community, man. That is awesome to have regulars that hang out with us. So
that is the coolest email. Holy shit, that's awesome.
No, that's not an email. So that's on iTunes. That's an iTunes review. Yeah.
Damn.
So
I'm the only one who gets emails.
That was our first iTunes review in like 8 months. We used to get them all the time, and then I think people just stopped using iTunes. You know what we should do is check Stitcher. I bet we have Stitcher reviews like out the yin-yang.
I'll bet we do.
Because everybody's doing that now.
I'm the only one who listens on iTunes.
Yeah, because iTunes is dead for the most part, and Stitcher's still a thing. And actually, we're getting like the bulk of our downloads are from Stitcher.
Do we want to do that live? Do we want to look up stuff right now?
No. I'm not opening that Pandora's box right now. After I read like 50 brutal fucking reviews, there'll be like one thread of hope remaining in the box. It's like, maybe Wise Papa Smurf shouldn't kill himself.
Yeah, because after that review, it's all downhill.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah. So I kept mentioning that we have emails, and we do. And it turns out that, like, a lot of people are writing in just about Astros. And, yeah, it's a legit thing. Like, Astros has gotten more emails lately than I care to admit or almost care to read. So, here we go. We read. I don't know how far back we're gonna go. So, or how many of these have been read. So I'll just start with 3 emails ago, which takes us back to the wee early morning of April 14th of this year, 2019, the year of our Lord. So, Andrea writes, I'm still definitely not Astros. Because she was the one that wrote the one before, and I accused her of actually being Astros, so she said she's still not. She says,
Okay.
Hi again. I just watched the latest episode. So glad Ponderous read my email. It was him I was talking about. Which, remember, she said there was a guy on the podcast that was a streamer that she thought would be like fun for a little bit, but really annoying to hang out with in real life. That was Ponderous that she was talking about. So at least I thought it might have been me. So I'm glad to hear that. No, it's Michael. And also, nail on the head, man. Hung out with that guy for a week and, terrible. Anyway,
Wow.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not serious. Okay, we actually had a great
God.
time. I can go over. We talked about that on that one podcast. It's all good. So it was him I was talking about. I feel bad that I forgot his name. I know it now. And I still think he'd be so obnoxious in real life, but he's cute and has great hair. The whole podcast is cute as are the podcasters. All right.
Wait, he's the cutest podcaster? Is that what I just heard?
No, she said the whole podcast is cute, as are the podcasters.
Some more than others.
Yeah, shut up, baby. I know it. And it was coincidence that I sent that on April Fool's Day. I actually sent one previously to the wrong address. So yeah, it wasn't a joke. I meant every word. Love the podcast so much. You guys are fun. Keep up the great work. It's appreciated. So that was Andrea. Thanks, Andrea. Then we got another email about Astros from Jason Billingsley. Jason writes, by the way, totally fake name. No, his name isn't really Jason Billingsley. Can't be. It's got to be an Astros account. Astros fans are people too, is the title of this email, which came 2 days later. Right? 2 days after the April 14th. So now we're moving forward to the 16th. To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Astros BK. I'm just going to call you Astros instead of Astros BK because it's kind of funky.
That's fine.
Okay. His humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of Yasuo play, most of the jokes will go over a typical listener's head. There's also his nihilistic outlook, which is deftly woven into his characterization. His personal philosophy draws heavily from Teemo XXD play. For instance, his fans, they understand this stuff. They have the intellectual capacity to truly appreciate the depths of his macro play. To realize it's not just funny, it says something deep about life and his relationship with his father. As a consequence, people who dislike Astros are idiots, truly. Of course, they wouldn't appreciate, for instance, the humor in his existential catchphrase, "Why am I so shit at this fucking game?" Which in and of itself is a cryptic reference to Sven's LCS final play. I'm smirking right now just imagining one of those addle-pated simpletons scratching their heads in confusion as Astro's genius AD Morgana top unfolds itself in their Champion Select screens. What fools! How I pity them. Oh!
I'm like, yeah. I'm like hearing this in Zizek's accent right now, by the way. This is brilliant.
And yes, by the way, I do have a Astros BK tattoo. And no, you cannot see it. It's for the Astros fans only. And even then, they have to demonstrate that they're within 5 LP. I'm Iron 5, by the way. Of my own, preferably lower before. No, he says 5 LP points. Iron 5, by the way. Of my own, preferably lower beforehand. Nothing personal, kid. Sent from his iPhone.
It's on the taint, isn't it? That's where you get Astros tattoos.
The only place to get an Astros tattoo. That's where I got mine.
Okay. I feel like you have to get it on the ass, or you're not.
No, it's what the taint helps the beard fill in on the tattoo, so it's like a 3D thing. You see?
Yep.
Because like
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, because you don't have the mustache part of the beard, so that's reserved for like the butthole, and then I don't have to do your mouth either. It's just you just do the eyes, and then the butt beard fills in on the bottom, and you got chipmunk cheeks if you squeeze right.
Complete picture.
There you go, whole picture. The only thing, BK.
I was really, really happy that Double Sniff read that email the last time because
he read that one already.
He read that one. Okay. He read that one last week. He hasn't read the other one.
Okay, so here's the new one.
All I'm gonna say is it can't be for me because I don't have the vocabulary for half of those words.
That's true. I can verify that. This one, well, this is fucked up because the guy wrote his name was like Jason Billingsley or something last time. Now this time it's from a guy named Cedar, like a tree.
Maybe he forgot to change his name this time, or maybe it's another cryptic message
like
for
the terrible new metal band.
So I've never heard of a new metal band named Cedar, but I bet Mob.
Oh, Cedar! Like I thought it was Cedar.
Like no, like the tree.
I got it.
Like what you would make a closet out of if you didn't want moths to eat your clothes.
Cool.
Okay, sweet. Dear Double Sniffed, in my previous email, I referred to Astro's nihilism through a more metaphysical lens. I believe that Astro's fully encapsulates the inner philosophy of nihilism with his high-level, thought-provoking play. You see, Astros plays the easiest mechanical champions, like Yasuo and Akali. Both of these characters activate a photosynthetic response from the bronchial lobes in the top side of the brain, effectively lobotomizing Astros for the match. Astros is aware of this and purposefully induces this effect on himself so he can continue to play League of Legends and bring us listeners quality inting Yasuo content from his solo queue games. Astros understands nihilism on a quantum level, even going as far as to play on-hit Zillion Jungle with a 100% win rate, foregoing his moral attachments and ascending to enlightenment. What the fuck, Astros, did you do to deserve
I started a cult. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like you kind of did. And I don't know when you managed to do this. Like, do you stream all the time? And like,
I have been streaming a lot more actually.
But is this like your Twitch chat? Is like
no one's.
Where the fuck does this come from? It is insane.
Honestly, I don't really have an answer for you.
All right. Well, I just got 2 new emails while I was reading that email, and hopefully neither.
I got another thing.
No, they're not. They're from Yahoo asking me to download their app, and my garbage company thanking me for paying them. So, yeah.
I did get someone messaged me on Discord to add him on League from the Discord, like the community, and I was like, all right. So I added him, and he told me that he has created an Astros BK fan club in the client.
Oh yeah.
So if anyone wants in that, you can PM me, and I'll hook you up with his contact so you can get in the.
Well, the cool thing is once they get up to 5 players, they can get a tag.
Yeah. We need that Astros tag.
That was
for when I go pro.
That was a subtle dig that he only has less than 5 fans.
Do you even have a fan club? I think I have.
Yeah, totally have a fan club. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's Canadian mostly.
I've seen it.
Speaking of my Canadian fan club, big shout out to Ashley this week. Did you guys hear the news?
She hit gold.
She blasted through gold and went to gold 3.
Damn, that's awesome.
With like a 60-something% win rate on Leona. Like,
that's really good.
Oh, girl's tearing it up. And I told her, I said, I'll see if your experience was the same as mine, but winning as a support in gold is actually easier than winning as a support in silver.
This is true.
So, and she just like, she was in gold 4 for like a few hours. Like, she just blasted right out of it. It was crazy. So,
nice.
So, yeah, congratulations to Ashley. I knew she could do it. I really am. What's the word where you're like happy for somebody, but proud doesn't taste right coming out of my mouth?
I didn't know words had tastes.
Yeah, this one does.
He needs a thesaurus.
No, it's funny because like I sent Ashley a very nice message with a bunch of stuff in it, and then I gave her a whole bunch of shit about it because I couldn't stand to like just send somebody a nice message without mitigating that in some way. And the second message that was raw sarcasm was like, Ashley, I'm glad you overcame your handicaps of being a woman and a Canadian to make it out of silver and into gold.
That's what happens when you duo.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Blah, blah. But no, really though, super for her. Like, she earned it, man. She put in a lot of work to get out of silver, and she is actually better than a silver. Like, I don't believe she actually got carried, for the record. I know she duoed with Pizanski, but I don't think she actually got carried.
I'm just toxic, so.
Yeah.
She asked me last season why she was stuck in silver, and I told her it's because she doesn't play enough games.
No, that's true. I mean,
because she
have
played
told
a lot
her
of
this.
normals.
Yeah, I've told her this for like 2 seasons now. I was like, you could climb out if you would just like knuckle under and fucking do it, right? Like,
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, like I started actually playing solo queue again, which has been I'm improving from my 15% win rate to now having like a 24% win rate.
Yeah.
But, then this is my point to emphasize what I'm going to transition into what we're eventually talking about today. And this is my point. Objectively, I'm a diamond level support player. I have been for 2 seasons with little difficulty getting there. Right now, I had a horrible series of placements. I ended up getting dropped into Plat 4, and I lost I went like 20-2 or 20-3. Right, wait, 3-20.
3-20.
Other way around. I won 3 games and lost like 20, and I bottomed out Plat 4, and I could not buy a win to save my life. Like it just, I was getting people saying like, "Oh my God, this Thresh is so good." Holy shit, he's making this lane so easy and shit like that. And then we would lose the game. And it wouldn't, I would be playing obviously very well, but we'd still lose, right?
Yep.
And the point that I bring this up, and the fact that I'm like, oh, I'm diamond and have been forever, is that it's not that I have suddenly fallen to Plat 4. It's not that I suddenly can't carry a Plat game. It's that you will go through streaks.
Yeah.
In even 20, 30, 40 games may not be representative of where you are at, right? Like, it's just not. Your skill can be higher or lower, but people don't want to like, man, I got really lucky. I am not this good. You never hear anybody say that. But I mean, there are times. You said that? I bet you actually have said that.
I said that.
I've said that one time. Yeah. When I first got to Plat
level mid,
I felt like I wasn't really deserving of it. But yeah.
But I mean, that being said, like, anybody can go through a streak like that. Like, anybody can go through a bad beat and lose a whole bunch of games. Like, that's just part of League, right? You can win a whole last time I was doing I was playing with Exiles. And to get to Diamond, We were Diamond 1 in the series, lost 20 games in a row. 20 games in a row. And then we won 24 games in a row and got to Diamond. I mean, It happens. It's just that's how the game swings. Sometimes you flip tails 10 times in a row. Statistically, it's not often that happens, but it totally can. It happened to me at the beginning of this season. So I understand that you may feel that way, like this is hopeless, it's not fun, I'm under a pile of shit, and I can't seem to climb, and it's not my fault, right? Now, here's where that excuse doesn't hold water. Have you played more than 50, 75, 100 games? If you've played more than 100 games, your elo is probably where it deserves to be, or in the neighborhood of where it deserves to be, plus or minus like a tier. Or is it a division? I don't remember. I mean, like Plat 4, Plat 3, Plat whatever, right? You're within a stone's throw of your actual true skill if you've played 100 plus games. Does anybody disagree with that?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So, if you've played that many games and you can't get out of where you think you are stuck, then you probably need to reevaluate your game and focus on your fundamentals, which is and then at that point let go of those excuses of, well, my team sucks, or, well, I did everything right, or, well, whatever, right? Because I just got done telling you there are those games. Those games happen in the short term, not the long term, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to get out of that feeling, that bottomed out fucking pit, if you want to get out of that, you play more damn games.
Yep.
So you dilute that out.
This is exactly where I'm at right now. I have been going through a horrible streak, and it's partially because I haven't been playing League as much as I honestly would like to. And so I've gotten a little soft, and not playing hardcore for like 3 to 6 weeks will do that to you. But I also have hit that like bad luck streak where it's not necessarily that my like teammates are bad. They're not bad really at all. It's just that they literally tilt off the face of the earth over fucking nothing. And I'm having people like, I'll have a Nasus like 10 minutes in who's going against a T-Bone lane. Obviously a frustrating lane for him, right? And he'll get ganked one time and then be like, you guys don't deserve to win. I'm quitting. And he just rage quits. And then second game, same thing happens. Pantheon jungle doesn't get like the first kill that he thought he should have gotten. Instead, he gets killed himself. And he's like, oh, game's over. I'm an early game champ. Can't come back from this.
I had a J4 do the same thing while I was streaming on like Tuesday.
Yeah.
He tried to gank mid, fail ganked, died, then was like, I gotta gank bot, guys! I gotta do this or I'm gonna be behind forever! And then he just made this crazy shitty gank bot and forced it and died again. Then he tried it a third time and then was like, well, this game's over. And I'm like, you can't play like that. Like, you can't just play max tilt and expect to do anything good.
Like, and I realize it's partially my fault even. Like I am doing my normal smite Zillion mid or something, or going Mikhail's Crucible first item because I feel like that's the best thing to do if I'm playing support. And like it just people can't handle it. Like they just ping it. It bothers them so much, and then finally something bad happens, and then they blame it all on whoever they feel like is not doing the thing that they correctly should be doing. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just hitting a streak of that right now, and it's very frustrating. But all I need to do is play more games because like what I'm dealing with right now is a sample size issue. It's not the fact that like everyone in League is so tilted all the time and I will never win another game. It's like, no, this is just the 20 games of bad luck that sometimes happen to you, and you need to play more.
Okay, I got one for you. On the tilt thing, I have had, like, when I was playing, it was really, really, like, I had this Ash who was a complete piece of shit. Like, completely worthless ass ADC player. Kept making nonsense pings for me to, like, go in that I would have to, like, force this shit, and we didn't have summoners. It didn't make any sense.
Right.
And I disregarded her completely. And then she started talking about how I was the worst piece of shit and oh my god and blah blah blah. And then by the end of that game, my teammates were like, "Thank you, Thresh, for not tilting off the face of the earth having to deal with that chick."
Yeah.
Right? And I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, cool." Well, this, by the way, is how I did it. And I kind of went, "Oh my god, I've said this so much and I don't know why I don't just do it immediately." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mute the fuck out of them.
Yes.
Just mute them.
Yes.
Just hit tab, mute their pings, mute their emotes, mute their text.
Yes, I've not followed that advice in previous seasons, but it is beyond toxic right now. And for the first time ever, I've just been muting off from the very fucking beginning because it's just too much. And there's nothing you can say to fix it other than to be quiet.
I mean, that's the thing is you can literally mute all. It never affects you. It never hits your mentality.
Nope.
And it's just a
Nope.
video game now.
It
It's just
is.
a video game. And I found it to be more relaxing, less tilting, and genuinely more fun to not engage or expose myself to any of the things anyone was saying in chat. Because nothing positive ever comes out of that chat box. Nothing.
Very little in comparison to what actually does come out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I will miss more negative tilting shit than I will miss positive useful shit. And by a factor of 10.
Yeah, or more. It seems, yeah, or more.
So, honestly, I have not listened to my own advice in previous seasons and not muted as much as or as quickly as I should. Now it's literally if the first time someone says anything even remotely toxic, I just mute them.
Yep.
And I don't say, "I'm going to mute you now." Because that's a bitch move. You don't do that. You just mute them.
You just mute them and move on with your life.
Like, imagine somebody's screaming at you in real life, and they're really pissed off, and they're all like in your face, and then you just like pull up a TV remote, hit a button, and then all of a sudden, no sound, nothing. They just look stupid, like they're doing a caricature of an angry person, and it literally cannot affect you. It's amusing, right? Like, that's it.
Not only that, like the less you talk to them, the less they'll type. Then the more they may focus on the game, which is what they actually need to do.
Because I mean, remember, there's like the old adage: you never feed the troll. You don't engage the toxic asshole. You don't feed the troll, and then it's over. They can say a whole bunch of angry shit about you. Who cares? You don't.
Right, and this is coming from someone who loves to argue with people online, but like don't in this game.
Yeah, no shit. So I mean, I took my advice there, and that's universal. I don't care what elo you're at. So, real quick, everybody, every time I get shit from the community, it's always this. I am at fill in the blank elo, and oh my god, is everybody so toxic at fill in the blank elo? So, I'm going to go ahead and rank these for you, because it looks like this. The most toxic players are at Plat 2, Plat 1. That's where they live. Beyond that is like silver, like silver 2, silver 1. Actually, all of silver. Let's just say all of silver. Then below that is plat like 4 and 5. Or 3 and 4, I guess now. But low plat. Then like, I haven't been in bronze, so I would assume diamond is worse. Right? Because I, again, haven't been in bronze in a long time. I've been in it like 6 years ago or something, but I don't have any like.
I think mid to high silver is worse, personally.
That's what I said. I already put silver on there. It's number 2.
I started the climb in bronze, and bronze wasn't bad.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad from what I remembered, but it's like I said, Plat 1 and 2 is the worst, then Silver, all of it,
Yep.
then Plat 3 and 4.
Diet plat.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Diet Plat's right there, right below. Then like below that is probably Diamond,
Mm-hmm.
because in Diamond it's weird because you don't have that kind of like anger, you just have this like overwhelming sense of apathy towards winning the game, which is debatably more frustrating than someone just flaming. Because,
Yeah.
like, I can mute a flamer, but I can't mute a guy who's just sitting in fountain. Like, oh, well, go next. You assholes don't deserve to win. This is my 1100th game this season, so one game doesn't matter. And I'm like, I could dive through the computer and punch that dude in the fucking face, and I totally would if I was capable of doing that, so instead I'll just mute. Take my loss and move. Right? But diamond right there. Then below that would be, I guess, bronze. And then the land of milk and honey, the least toxic place in the world, gold.
Gold 3, baby. That's where
It,
heaven is.
yeah, enjoy your
It's
games
where
there.
it's where people are not total idiots all the time and are
Gold 1
chill
is the
as fuck.
fucking worst elo. I'm never
Gold
gonna
1
stop saying
no,
it.
no, no.
Gold 1's
Gold,
fucking horrible.
I know Gold 1 is awful. That's actually where I'm having trouble right now with people who are rage quitting. But Gold 3 and Gold 4, those fuckers, man, I just want to meet them in real life because they seem like genuinely nice people.
Gold 3 and 4 is like Woodstock.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody's chill, everybody's your friend, they're looking to help you in some way, shape, or form, and they're probably all on drugs.
Yeah.
That's like you welcome to the land of milk and honey. So
I got a question for you guys, actually.
yeah, shoot.
So how many games have you guys played this season so far? Like, roughly?
Do not know. Let me look.
Not as many as I'd like.
Because I've played 100 on my main and like 50 on my other account. So I have like 150 games this season. And I don't know if it's like...
I have played 33 games with a 24% win rate.
I didn't ask for your win. You didn't have to throw yourself under the bus.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I
I
played-
don't care. It's not a big deal.
I played 50 games.
But like now that I've actually like been playing again, I'm starting to see blue in my match history. So that's nice. That's nice.
Because, like, out of all my games, like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just, like, hella lucky. Maybe it's, like, the Elos I've been in. But I haven't seen, like, a lot of, like, typing. And I don't think I've been AFK'd on once or inted.
Then you've been really
I-
lucky. I've
My
had a
my entire
lot of that.
plays.tv is filled with clips of that if you'd like just
Yeah, no,
browse.
I have had a shit ton of that this season. Like I don't know, this season has been the worst ranked season for me ever. And by that I mean with the inability to actually win games. And it's not I've gotten a very high percentage of I quits. Not me quitting, but somebody on my team going, I quit, I'm done, fuck this, blah blah blah, and then actually following through with that.
Yeah,
I've had
people like legit going through with that threat.
yeah, I've had a bunch of people that are inters, and I don't mean like you're inting. Like I hate the fucking phrase inting because people like, oh, did you play bad? Are you slightly on tilt? Well, you're an inter. No, an inter is like someone who literally runs that shit down to die on purpose, or like runs in and just intentionally just kind of goes wee right out in the middle of a fight just to die.
Yeah,
That's
it's been
an
kind of it's been insane. Like there'll be people who are like, we should have gone for dragon or something like that, and then the jungler will just lose his goddamn mind and just run in 1v5 over no objective either. He's not like trying to steal a dragon or anything.
And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. That's like actual inting. That's what it
Right.
looks like.
And
I wish
he'll
people-
like 1 to 3 times per game, just because of one comment or something. It's not like he's running it down mid every time he spawns.
Right.
It's just a general sort of negative behavior that every time he gets critical feedback, he loses his shit.
Mm-hmm. And that
that loses
exactly
you
what I'm
games.
talking about. That loses you games, but it's not gonna catch a inting filter that Riot sets up. So he'll never be
Right.
punished, but he's definitely losing you the game.
So report that shit.
Yeah, report it, but good luck. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
So that shit tilts the dick
you've
out of
done your
me.
civic duty. Best they can do.
Yeah, that's the best you can do. You're right. But that's the kind of inting shit I'm talking about, not like he keeps fighting even though he's losing. Oh my god, he's inting. Like
Yeah.
that's not inting. That's just playing bad. And that's not the shit I'm talking about.
Right.
But I've had a lot of that, a lot of quitters, and like a lot of like keyboard warrior surrender monkeys
Oof.
that like step up and they're like, GG, it's 7 minutes. I'm like, there is not that much bad shit that can happen in 7 minutes that will result in a GG.
Yeah. Especially when like they don't have hyper carries at all. It's all early game champs. Like, give me a break. We've got 6 towers left. We're fucking fine.
But I mean, this feels like, honestly, this feels like the season of mental health issues.
It does,
And I mean,
doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Like, it seems to me like the one determining factor is like who has the less mentally fragile team wins.
I don't know, dude. I'm pretty mentally fragile, and
That's,
I
mean,
just I must be really
I don't think it
fucking
affects your
lucky.
play though,
yeah.
Astros.
I
Like
mean,
that's the thing.
I feel like your legion of fans is like a mental bubble wrap, so it doesn't like escape, and it just kind of bounces around in your head, and then doesn't kill
It's
it.
like those pillow rooms.
Yeah.
Maybe, and it's also kind of like maybe if you can make your cellmate crazier before you go nuts, then you'll win the game anyway.
Yeah. Right. So I mean,
Like,
I don't I don't know what is wrong with this season, and I mean, keep in mind everything that I'm complaining about, I guarantee you, is because I'm in a small sample size. I just told you that I have 33 ranked games this season. That's barely statistically significant.
Yeah.
So
50 is very few for me at this point.
I mean, so
I don't think I've ever
that's
had
nothing.
this many at the season point.
Well, yeah, like I didn't even get the ranked armor upgrade because I like fucking flailed so bad at the beginning of the season in terms of my output was so terrible, or my win-loss rate was so bad, I just lost the desire to even play it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are going through that right now, so I do want to kind of talk about like oh shit, I accidentally closed the thing, but okay, we're back. Uh, sorry, everybody on the video part of it, but we've gotten a lot of feedback, and recently we got one from a guy who's like, "Oh my God, I've played like 150 games and I'm in Bronze 3. Like, help! I can't be this bad. What's going on? Blah 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 blah." And so, what I wanted to do with this episode in particular is just to say, and this is entirely like stereotypes, but if you are frustrated and you are rank X, what is some things that you can do, or what are some things that you can do that will help propel you out of that elo? Like, what are some fundamentals that are critical to moving forward? Let's start I'm not even going to start with iron, because
I
if
think
you're
iron and bronze are the same thing.
well, I
Like,
don't, I mean,
honestly, I think the mistakes are pretty freaking similar.
yeah, like, I think, yeah, probably so. So let's talk about that. Bronze. What do you do? What should you focus on in order to get your ass out of bronze?
Just in general, or from
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
or
I
from
mean,
like the
this is
roles
not
we play.
this is no, this is general advice, because I have no idea what the roles of the people that are listening are, so I don't want to like lock it into that. I just want to be like, hey, are you bronze? These are the things that you should look at to improve first and foremost, right? I'll just start, right? Attitude. Attitude is the one thing, because if you say, I am not this bad, which is what the guy in general chat wrote, right? Like, I can't be this bad. Yeah, you can. And I don't know the guy. I've never seen him play, so this is not like a personal indictment or anything. But if you think that you are not the level you are at, then you tilt yourself before the game. Like, that's a terrible attitude to have.
Right. It's a sense of entitlement. I don't
Uh-oh.
game
I'm
makes you
losing
upset.
Zill. Can anybody
Whoop.
hear Zill?
Hello, hello.
Okay, say that again.
No, just it's the sense of entitlement. It's the idea that, I deserve to win this lane, I deserve to win this game, and then when it starts to not happen, you get mad faster. Like you think that this shouldn't be happening, and it upsets you. And it's like if you just go into the game without that sense of entitlement, like it'll be a lot better for you, man. Like it'll be a lot easier to take that initial setback whenever it happens. Which it can happen. Lee Sin can fly in at level 1 for no reason to gank you. Like, you may not expect that at all, but it happens.
See, here's the difference. If you have that mentality that, like, I deserve this, I deserve to be here, or I'm better than this, right? The first time something goes bad, your attitude will be, oh, fuck this. Like, immediately, you're gonna go, fuck this, I'm fucking done, this is bullshit, I hate this shit, I'm out, right? Like, that's where your mind goes. But if your focus is like, okay, how can I improve this game? How can I do better than I did the game before this, regardless of the outcome? What do I need to do to improve my play? And you get
Right.
ganked level 1 and you die, your mind doesn't go, fuck this. You go, okay, shit. Now how do I get back in from there? Like, how do I turn this shit around? Right? Because I'm always looking for something I can do to make the game better, to
Yeah.
make the game more winnable. And literally, that shift in mentality will probably get you out of bronze.
I think like another big thing that you can do to get out of bronze is like I agree with you that saying that like saying that the you don't deserve the rank that you have, that you're better than that it's like it's counterproductive because you don't look at yourself as an issue because you're the only thing that stays consistent throughout all the games you play,
Uh-huh.
especially in lower elo. The odds of you getting matched with the same guy are slim to none unless you're playing like a super large sample size. Um, but just like your basic fundamentals. And when I was playing low elo, um, if you watch any video on YouTube, it's like, the 9 tips to get diamond. CSing is almost always in it. Um, Playing champions that scale, playing something that's aggressive, and like the problem in low elo is it's not like macro intensive. You just fight, 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 fight until one team's dead long enough to kill the Nexus.
Yeah.
So if you can try and slow the game down and just kind of like play for yourself in a way, I think it's like a really easy way because I think the only games nowadays that you can actually like carry your team are in like lower elo.
Hmm.
And just kind of looking at yourself as like what you can improve on and setting like limited goals on what you want to work on. So if you want to work on trying to get, a larger CS lead, keep that consistent for multiple games until you actually see improvements. Don't
Yeah.
try
So,
and
question, you said you think you can only really carry yourself hard at like low elo or carry a game at low elo. Is that because of the new season changes, like the bounties and other shit that's like caused some rubber banding, or why?
I just think like because the lower elos are less about actual like team coordination in terms of like making the right play, and it's more so just like which team fights more and wins the fight at the end. Like there is plenty of rubber banding. I like throughout my time I'd have like a team where we ace one fight and then we fight the net fight and we get swiped or swept despite having all the gold lead from the next fight, and it's like
But
the
yeah, because like
consistency
you
is so
picked like
low.
a really bad angle to come in on it or something like that, and then you just all end up getting murdered.
It's usually as simple as like a vision difference, which you had the advantage before, and that's why you won, and then you didn't have that advantage the second time, but you didn't really notice that because you kind of felt cocky from the last fight, or at least enough to be able to make a decision.
Or you're like me and you just don't look at vision.
Well,
or you overstayed after your last fight and you haven't spent your fucking money, so you don't have any real advantage, but you feel like you do. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, I think like another thing is
that's
just,
more silver-ish, I think, issues. But yeah, I got you.
Just not taking the really stupid odd coin flips, because there's so many coin flip like scenarios in low elo. You don't have to take the 20-80 coin flip. There's plenty of 70-30 coin flips.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to do every single thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, fundamentals in bronze. It's fundamentals. That is what you have to work on in every way, shape, or form. You don't have to worry about the like hard to do stuff. Like when do we take Baron? When do we take Dragon? Do we take Towers? Do we take this? Do I rotate? How do I do a team fight? How do I do this? How do I that? Like nope, fundamentals. If your gun hits stronger than their gun, or your spell does more damage than their spell, you will probably win the game.
Yep.
You know, I mean it boils down to this is the game at its most basic level. Who does more stuff? Right? And that's why they always say, "Oh yeah, learn to CS." And all bronze players hate hearing that. Like, I'm going to CS my way out of bronze. And they're like, "Fuck you. I'm tired of hearing that same shitty advice." No. Okay. The reason you CS your way out of bronze is because you have way more money than everyone else. Like
so your gun hits harder than theirs.
So your gun hits harder, and you murder them harder and faster in team fights, and their champion disappears, and yours stays alive. That's why it matters.
Also, though, don't play fucking high mechanic champions in low elo. You're just adding in extra variables that you don't need to add in.
Right. Like
a good example of that for me is Gangplank. Okay, Gangplank is a cool champion, does a lot of damage. Honestly, not like it doesn't come across as really hard to play, right? There's not like a lot of animation cancels or a lot of like fast combos or anything like that necessarily.
No, the barrel management is where
but do you hit your barrels? If you can't hit your barrels, do not play Gangplank. Because you do not do damage, you do not actually hurt anyone in the game. You are just walking around playing a mini game of nothing
with like a weird musket pistol.
It's like everyone else is playing League of Legends, and you're at Chuck E. Cheese hitting the moles with a little baseball bat. You know, like you're playing your own mini game, and it's not actually affecting what is happening in the rest of the world. So please don't play Gangplank. Like, if you want to experiment with Riven or something like that, and you can, like, you know, understand early lane phase pressure and maybe get a kill and then maybe transition that into a lead later, that's fine. You don't have to be a god like Riven, right, to be able to function as Riven. But there are some champions that are very difficult to play. And if you are not actually being effective with those champions, you need to be able to have the wherewithal to realize that and just not fucking play them. And that's okay. I can't play Aurelion Sol. I really, really want to play Aurelion Sol. He's my playstyle. He's a cool champion. He has a high win rate. Nobody plays him, which is what I like. But I can't hit the fucking stars. So guess what? I don't do damage. So therefore, I don't get to play Aurelion Sol. That's just how that works.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. And so, okay. The next thing that I'm going to tell you is a pet peeve of mine for coaching. That this is, we'll move on to silver because I think we've laid out enough for you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to cover in bronze?
No, but yeah, okay. Let's move on.
I think for every elo, you're under, like, there's always room for improvement at base fundamentals. So I think we can just kind of like lay that as a blanket across everybody.
Yeah,
there's no person who has flawless fundamentals in the game.
Right.
You have room for improvement, even if you're rank 1. Like.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree. So I guess you could say for silver, take everything we said about bronze, double down on it, plus this. Right? Okay. in Silver, this is the number one statement that we always hear. Well, my mechanics are pretty good, but I don't understand this. Right? Like, or the opposite. Yeah, my mechanics are okay, but I'm really good at macro play. No, you're not.
Those people are delusional, by the way.
No, you're just not. You're not. And I don't mean to take that away from Silver, but macro play is something that doesn't truly even enter the game until Plat.
Or high gold, but yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even say high gold.
Yeah,
I don't
think
hardly
high
ever
gold.
see high gold do macro play.
Map awareness suddenly becomes...
Okay, Zill, you're
And
like
we're
cutting
losing
out
them.
again.
Map awareness is something that happens around gold too, at least at a very basic level. So
I'm not
Map
talking about
awareness
map
and macro
awareness.
are two different things.
Yeah, I'm not talking about map awareness here. Map
Really?
awareness is like looking at your mini map, which, by the way, map awareness is a prerequisite for macro play, generally, because you need to actually take in information to make good strategic decisions on the map. So I'll give you that. But what
Okay.
I'm talking about is we just won this. What else can we extract off the map to increase our lead? Do we take Dragon? Do we take Baron? Do we push a tower? Right? Or we've just pushed a tower, but we can't get an inhibitor. Do we fall back and take Dragon or Baron, or do we just recall? Do we all recall at the same time? Do we recall sporadically, leave two people out on the map, they die, and then the other two people die trying to defend something they can't defend or take a dragon that they can't take, and then rubber band back and forth in 3-man versus 5-man, then 2-man versus 5-man, then 3-man versus 5-man, because that's when you come out of the fountain? These are macro play decisions.
Okay, you're talking about macro play at a level that I think is a little higher than how it starts. I think macro play begins with knowing when you're overextended, knowing to look at your mini map and whether or not what death timers are going on. Right, those are like basic information you need to take in to make macro play decisions.
Sure, but I would almost consider that like situational awareness rather than like macro play.
Macro is a category, and I feel like that totally fits in.
Well, I think it does.
I think it fits in, but I don't think in and of itself it's macro play.
All right, we're arguing semantics at this point, and I don't want to do that.
Well, I think it's a very... No, I'm not trying to like say like, yeah, you're wrong, but I think it's a very important distinction between what a lot of people think and like... Because that's the thing, is it creates this delusion, and the delusion is like, I'm good at this. And the reality is, most of the time, you've never even been exposed to it. So you can't be good at it. Right?
If you're good at map awareness and understanding vision, you are good at some aspects of macro play.
I mean, you understand when to do it, but you don't necessarily understand what's weighted in the situation. Like,
you mean you understand that you are on the map overextended and that no one else is showing up on the map and all their death timers are gone. They're all up.
I don't even count that more as a fundamental of vision and awareness of your map.
So the basics of macro play.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel... Hold on. Like I said, I feel like that is a prerequisite for macro play. Does that make sense? Like, I don't feel like they're actually, like, the same thing. But, like, this, what you're talking about, enables you to do macro
it's
play.
Like fucking
I feel like what you're saying is noodles and sauce are prerequisites to Italian food. And I'm like, no, it is Italian food.
What I'm saying is boiling water is a prerequisite to Italian food. But you dump out the water before you eat the noodles.
We're not talking about just like looking at the mini map. We're talking about understanding what's happening, though.
Right, but I'm saying you can't cook noodles without boiling water, but you don't eat the boiling water. You eat the noodles. The noodles are macro play. The boiling water is looking at your fucking map.
All right.
Do you
the
see
analogy? I think you've taken my analogy and twisted it a little bit, because I think what I'm applying to it is using the boiling water to make noodles and also cook sauce. Not just
noodles
boiling water.
Boiling prerequisite noodles. Eat food afterward. Mash it all together. Macro play. Mwah! Bellissimo.
All right.
Like I don't. It's all the like I said. It's all I don't know. I don't.
Again, I'll go back to we're arguing semantics, and
I think
I don't really do that. I
I
don't
think
think
we're
that's
arguing Italian cuisine somehow, and I don't know how we got here, but yes.
You are the king of ridiculous analogies. I feel like I'm allowed one.
Yeah, no, you got it. You nailed it. So regardless, that's the kind of thing is don't think that you are good at something, and I was guilty of this whenever I was silver. I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good at playing Ezreal. I'm just not a good ADC, and I've said that before. But the reality is, when I was that elo, I actually wasn't very good at playing Ezreal. I may have been a decent silver Ezreal, but I wasn't good at the champion by any stretch, and I was bad at ADC. You see what I'm saying? But I had this thought in my mind that I could do that or that I was good at it, but I just needed to improve in a different area altogether. And that created me a season where I had like a 24% win rate on Ezreal. It was a terrible idea for me to play that fucking champion. Like, you've got to take a step back and not give yourself no credit. Like, absolutely no credit. Look at your play in a vacuum.
Yeah, hate yourself. That's
hate your play. And I mean, it's weird to say it, but it kills ego, and ego is like the enemy of climbing.
That's why I talk shit
I
to
think that's
myself
fair.
all the time.
So, okay, so in silver, I think that's a big issue because silver and plat suffer from the same, like, the fruit is right here and I can almost reach it, and whenever I can't get my fingers on it, then I get really, really mad and baby rage, right?
Yeah.
And in the absence of ego, all that goes away. Like, you zen out and you only focus on the things that are important, right? So kill that. Actual way that you get better in silver. Focus on a very, very, very small champion pool. Because more than anywhere else on the ladder does refining one champion matter in silver. I think it is the most important thing you can do in silver is refine one or two champions, like a very small champion pool, and try to change roles as little as possible. Because,
Don't be Astros.
well, no, silver is all about building consistency of play. And consistency of play, like the number one thing that you can do is not change variables.
I think you're right. I think if your basic objective is to climb elos, I definitely would say that 1, 2, 3 tricking champions is definitely like the best way to do it. You keep the least amount of variables and you increase mechanical comfortability on the champions that you're playing, even if they're not like mechanically intensive. The only thing when you get to like the upper echelons of like higher elos is you get really punished for not actually understanding the game when you only see it through that glass ball.
That's what's happening to me
champions
right now too. Yeah, that's
yeah,
legit.
and I mean, I think
because I fly out of silver, like one trick with a pocket pick, and then doing the same thing over and over again. Like, yeah, real easy. As soon as I get to where I'm trying to learn how people who are at my skill level react to me, or people who are better than me play, it's much harder to learn, or much harder to like deal with that, because I've like tunnel visioned. I've like learned through a very specific way how to win games, and suddenly that isn't working anymore. So I actually have to like grow and expand like my my mental acuity with it.
yeah, and that's always like that's the kind of like that's the trade-off of picking one or two champions is you get good and consistent at those champions, but you see the game through the eye of that champion. So like if your short-term goal is climbing, then that's definitely the way to do it. But
Okay,
it
so
can have negative effects later.
yeah, no, that's true. But what I'm getting at is the best way to climb at any point on the ladder is to just to hyper focus on one character or two, right? Just a one trick or two trick, limited champion pool, most effectiveness, most freshness on the champion, most skill, blah 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 blah. Climb the ladder with your besties. But what you said is true. You do see the game through a hyper-focused lens. I agree on that. It's like looking through a magnifying glass. Everything looks bigger, but you lose the vision of what's on the outside of the magnifying glass, and that is true. But no matter the fact that that is true, in Silver, it is devastatingly bad to play a ton of champions.
Oh yeah.
Like
if your main objective
don't
is
be
to
like
climb.
John Silver player and be like, oh well, Astros said that I will be hurting myself in the long run, so therefore I shouldn't focus on one or two No, do it. Reach the goal you feel comfortable at, then you can branch out. But Silver, it's all about escaping Silver is being as consistent as humanly possible.
So play Darius Aurelia.
And you're cutting out.
Yeah, you're cutting out. By the way, every time before you cut out, it sounds like a box fan is going off in your room. Do you have like a box fan on or something?
No. I don't know what you're talking about. No,
not
box
anymore.
fan.
I don't.
Nope.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes like whoosh, and then you just cut out. So that's probably what it is.
Sorry, I just got AC in my room and it was blazing hot in here. So
how
sorry.
is it? Good?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to actually feel comfortable.
I'm happy for you, man. Really.
Thank you. I can actually sleep
I
now.
hope the listeners are too, because they tend to bitch about those things. But man, he's cool now. Give a man a break.
If yeah, this Blue Yeti picks up a lot of noise, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to like diminish that somewhat.
Oh, there's a thing on the back, like right there.
Yeah?
That's what does it. It's like the one that says gain.
The gain?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's all turned all the way down. So.
Oh, shit. Well, it's still pretty potent, so I don't know, man. But thank you, listeners, for the Blue Yeti mics. We appreciate them.
That now pick up everything for you to bitch
It's okay.
about.
I'll just sweat during podcasts. It'll be fine.
It's the same thing as like, okay, so there's a difference to me between what I'm about to say and then the next example I'm about to give. But like, whenever somebody would like take a drink of a soda and people would be like, oh my God, I can hear them drinking. And I'm like, yeah, we're thirsty. Give me a damn break. I'm talking for 60 minutes. What the fuck's the matter with you? Drink something. You know, whatever. And they're like, I can hear the soda click. I can hear the bottle open. Oh my God. I'm like, I don't care. Just chill. It's fine. We're thirsty. It gets thirsty in here. Right?
We got to do it for the ASMR fans.
But then there is a distinct difference between that and like Ernie, who used to eat a bowl of like Asian soup while we were recording. And I'm like, that is not okay. Like, do not fucking slurp soup while we try to make a point. And he's like, I'm hungry. Like, no! Like, fuck, Ernie. So, anyway, yeah, there's a fine line between what I think they can bitch about and what not. I don't want you to have to sit in a, like, fucking tin shitbox hot-ass room while you sweat your balls off.
Okay, I'll put some foam or insulation and we'll soundproof.
I'll send you links to, like, filters.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
that would probably help.
These guys, the pop filter things.
Well, that just kind of helps with your S's and your P's.
Yeah,
you can get like an actual like installation that'll.
Talking about my P. Okay.
Yeah, how's your prostate health, Zill?
So far so good.
You got a good thick stream these days.
Yeah, I just relax and
that's good.
It just all handles itself.
What the fuck am I doing here? It's 11 o'clock at night and I'm talking with older people about their prostates.
Yep, that's what you're doing. Adequately described. How's your dad's prostate, Astros?
I don't know, dude.
Do you talk to him about it? You should.
I don't.
Make sure he gets regular exams.
This is true. This is very important.
That prostate ain't
otherwise, you'll never make it to gold.
Yeah, that prostate ain't gonna exam itself. That shit happens in gold. The land of milk and honey.
It's called macro play.
That's a macro play. Getting your butthole awareness high. You know? So, anyway, it's been an hour. We are rambling at this point. I think we covered the bottom ones. By the time you hit gold, plat, and plus, you've pretty much figured it out from there. But yeah, if you're in silver, ego check is a huge thing. Mechanics are like one thing people overemphasize is mechanics, right? Like you're gonna have a hard time climbing if you can't hit a skill shot, but you don't need to be able to like dance like Patrick Swayze on.
I think we should
Yeah.
cover gold at some point, not tonight, but
Yeah,
I
no,
actually have
not
a lot to say about gold. Because I think gold is actually where we can talk about some really interesting details about this stuff.
Okay. How about next?
Anyway.
You want to do it next week? We do it
Yeah,
next
let's do
week.
it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Next week we're gonna talk about gold and how
All
to
right.
get the hell out of it. Probably spend forever on it. Oh, and we can also talk about the TF Blade saying idiots and getting banned from Twitch. That was a fun saga. Did you hear about this, Phil?
I know nothing about it. We should save it for the next episode.
Oh, it's so
It'll be
dumb.
irrelevant by then. It'll be
Okay.
irrelevant.
Okay,
by next
we can
episode.
talk about it. It'll only take like 10 minutes. So
Sure.
and we'll wrap this out. So TF Blade is from Iran originally, so he has a pretty thick accent. And if I have a stream cap, I can play TF Blade SoundCloud.
We're gonna play his mixtape for you, so you understand his accent.
His music?
No, he doesn't make music.
Okay, you said mixtape.
So
Yeah, well, that's what he said. SoundCloud. So
Okay.
yeah, there's like I said, the TF Blade thing. Somebody posted on SoundCloud.
Sorry, I'm old. I still use pure volume.
I'm gonna screw up the
I don't even
stream
know what
real
the fuck
quick
that
while I
is.
go up to this. What is pure volume? Why don't you tell me?
That's
all about
a
that?
reference for some real old folks when it comes to music.
what
Online.
The fuck?
All right, I found it, and we're.
Holy shit, kill these idiots.
Can you hear
Holy
that?
shit, kill
Is it
these
coming
idiots.
across on the stream? Let's
Holy
check.
shit, kill these idiots.
Oh, I don't have the stream.
Holy shit, kill these idiots.
I don't need to hear your voice twice.
Okay.
Delay.
It's literally been on repeat
Holy
for a
shit,
while.
kill these idiots.
Okay, so he says, "Holy shit, kill these idiots," is what he says. But he has this kind of thick Iranian accent. I guess he says idiots all the time on stream, right? But, and here, you guys, I will give you the link in the group chat here so you can.
I've heard it like 12 times. I
Yeah.
can't hear anything but idiots, but I listen to TF Blade all the time. So
Oh, okay. I hear it now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it sounds a bit like the N word if you're listening for the N word. If you listen for the word idiots, it sounds like, holy shit, kill these idiots. And I didn't think that the N word and idiots could sound at all the same, but I hear it. And that's the weird thing, is that you can hear it if you listen for it, right? So I can see how this whole issue got started. It seems like, okay, Twitch was watching, somebody from Twitch was watching, they heard this, and they went, oh my god, that's racist, and banned him, right?
Right.
Here's where it becomes an issue. He appeals it, and they listen to it. I guess Twitch posts out that they had other people from the department listen to it, like 7 or 10 other people, and they all heard the N-word, and they didn't hear idiots at all. And they then they reduce his ban from a 30-day ban to a 7-day ban. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like 2 days later, he's unbanned. So he
should have been unbanned from the start.
Yeah, he should have been unbanned from the start. That's kind of irrelevant, I think, to the whole overarching discussion, because everybody that's listening to this kind of says, okay, no, he wasn't saying the N-word. It's quite clear he wasn't. So that being said, here's what makes no sense to me from a Twitch support viewpoint, right? First things first. If you had your entire department listen to his voice and you all concluded that he said the N-word and not idiots, why would you reduce his ban at all? Right? Because the community is upset? Well, that doesn't matter. If your position is that that's the N-word, then we never back down. Because that's the whole point, right? Then on the other end, if you think it was debatable that he said the N-word, then remove the ban.
Right.
There should be like this split the difference, we're only going to ban you for a week, doesn't make any sense at all. It either happened or it didn't happen. And if it didn't happen, you need to unban him. And if it did happen, he needs to get the full ban. Banning him for 7 days makes no sense from any kind of point of view, right? Like if there's enough outrage, then therefore we reduce the ban. You know, it reminds me of the Yanni whatever Laurel thing. Is it Yanni or is it Laurel? Right? Or the is this dress black and blue, which it is, or is this dress like white and brown or whatever?
White and gold.
White and gold, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see this. You
I'm
see this
looking
in
at this
sports all the
fucking
time.
dress, and it is absolutely blue and black. It is not white and gold.
Well, it's because we're depressed. I think that's what it means when you see black and blue.
Oh, so it's like a mood ring.
It is.
Dress.
It is a mood dress, except
no.
it's to the person who's looking at it rather than wearing it.
Whoever
So
made
this is
that
like-
dress.
What color is my shirt, Blake?
It's chainmail.
Chainmail?
Yeah,
I would wear chainmail on the podcast.
yeah, you probably would.
Feels good on the nipples.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got seduced by a girl who wore chainmail lingerie? Or she tried to seduce me. It actually failed.
Where was she wearing chainmail lingerie? Was this at Renfest
Top,
or
bottom, in her apartment.
in
while
her
we-
apartment?
While we were playing World of Warcraft. And it was my friend's girlfriend. So
Was
I'm
she
not...
streaming?
No, this was before streaming was a thing. It was my friend's girlfriend, so I wasn't going to bang my friend's girlfriend. But she was absolutely like, you would not wear, essentially, like, it was see-through on the top. Right?
Okay.
It was fairly
Depends on how
see-through
big
on
those
the...
links are. Yeah, I got you.
It was fairly see-through on the... Like, I could clearly be like, and that's where your nipple is. And there's the other one. Right? And then the bottom, I'm like, yeah, you've done some gardening. Like, you could tell, right?
Okay.
And she answers the door in this. Or no, she didn't answer the door in it. She was wearing like a robe. And then we started playing WoW. Like, I set up my computer.
A chainmail robe
Yeah.
or
No,
leather
just a regular
Okay.
like kimono style robe or whatever. And then I set up my computer and we start playing WoW. And I'm farming for shit. And I look over and she's like lost the robe and she's just standing there in this like essentially chainmail bikini kind of lingerie thing. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's this chainmail deal I just got. Do you like it? I was like, yeah, that's cool. All right. Then it was super awkward after that, and we played WoW while she was wearing a chainmail lingerie for like the next 4 hours. And I tried as hard as I can not to acknowledge it, but super weird.
All right.
That's what that shirt reminds me of, actually.
Okay. I'm glad you can like apply that visual to me.
Yeah. You're hot as fuck, Zill. Don't worry
Aw,
about it.
thank you,
But
sir.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to bang
Thank
you because you're my friend's girlfriend.
That's right.
All right.
Keep your hands off me.
Hands off, buddy. I'm up
Look,
here.
but
Blake.
don't touch.
Blake, I'm up here. My eyes are up here. Quit looking at my chainmail bikini. So, yeah, that TF Blade shit was nonsense. Twitch finally backed off, and this is the one time that Twitch support did something Not like last time for the Lola podcast when they didn't recover our lost episode about anime that was so
I'm
good.
still angry about that. Mostly the time I
So
wasted.
good. We're gonna have to redo that one. We still have the notes somewhere, so we're gonna have to redo it. We just have to.
Oh yeah,
It's got to be done. So, all right,
you're gonna
that'll
have to
wrap
chain
up.
Ponderous up.
Yeah, that. Well, fuck, that won't be hard. He's always eager to talk about anime, right? It
Fair.
seems like him anyway. So, with his great fucking Egon hair, that's what the email said.
So yeah, I'm about to watch Evangelion for the first time ever.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why that one?
I've heard it's like the best mecha anime out there, or at least the most
Mecha anime.
foundational.
But why do you pick mecha anime? I don't even like that genre though.
Really?
Yeah, mecha
Oh.
anime, it doesn't really do it for me. There are a ton of Okay, we'll talk about this off the podcast, but there are a ton of great things that aren't mecha anime. But I'm not trying to dog shit at mecha anime. I've watched a lot of them. I don't like anything Gundam really though. Like
No,
but
pre-Gundam,
Evangelion
August
is
2.
actually pretty good. Also, there was a what is the name of that one? It's like Last Exile. It's a mini-series anime.
I couldn't get through the second episode. It was really rough to watch.
Is it the one with the weird prince who like hangs out with that other guy, and the other guy's name is Luciola, and he's like, Luciola? What? Is it like that guy? I do a pretty good impression of that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Once you watch the whole thing, it's actually pretty good. You have to get into it though.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think the I don't know 1800s like naval warfare combat in air like just kind of like bothered me a little bit. Yeah, I was just like, why are we doing this? But anyway.
Yeah, it's weird because it was kind of like a hybridy, steampunky kind of, but everybody flies and we all live in flying spaceships.
That don't have wings.
That don't have wings, but yet we have biplanes with like propellers on them. And why do we have
fly
that?
propane tanks? Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a fucking floating city over here, why am I flying in this piece of shit? Yeah, I mean, these are the questions. But anyway, all right, so that'll wrap it up for this week. Do you guys have anything you want to add? Zill, you should probably talk about the tournament, right?
Oh, hey, so I'm going to be putting teams together. Tournament is May 1st for ARAMs. So far, we have 6 teams total. And if you guys, last minute can find 5 people who want to make another team, sounds great to me. It will at least be some form of double elimination. On May 1st, which is Community Game Night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Not going to really worry about, I'm going to try and balance the teams as best I can, but it is ARAM. And you will get multiple chances to play multiple games against multiple teams. So, show a good chance of at least having a good show for yourself there.
All right, Astros, you got any announcements or anything?
Nope.
You probably want to thank your devoted fan base. Probably a good time to do that.
They know.
We had a cult meeting last night, so.
Well, they understand that you're very nihilistic about it. You care about nothing, Lebowski.
Yep.
You ever watch The Big Lebowski, Astros? I feel like you missed that one.
Correct. You are correct.
Ah!
Yeah, you see in his eyes. He's like, I don't know.
That completely
movie.
missed.
Hey, that's a movie I have seen.
Go watch The Big Lebowski. It's one of those movies that the first time you watch it, you're like, okay, that was good. And then the second time you watch it, you're like, that was really good. And then it gets better and better and better each time you watch it, kind of a deal.
What's the quote? Are these men dangerous? No, Donnie, they're fucking nihilists.
Yeah, no, Donnie, they're fucking nihilists. What the fuck is this? I see you are not a golfer. Come on, man, I hate the fucking Eagles. That's it. Get the fuck out of my cab.
Yeah. My friend has a band called the fucking Eagles, which
like
an excellent name.
Donnie, like the many who died before him, like the brave men on Hill 357. What the shit was that about Vietnam, Walter? Anyway, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Good night, everybody!